You know what I miss? The early web, when websites were unique, personal, and unfinished. Sure, we have better web standards and accessibility today, but back then every link click felt exciting. In this video, I'm taking a look at some of the best websites for retro fans. I'm Alex, and this is Retro Tech Dreams. First on the list is a website called Weeby. Weeby is a search engine for the old web. It indexes personal websites that are older, have simple designs, and are still online today. All right, let's start with a search. I'm gonna search for Duke Nukem. Steve Dude's Duke Nukem page. Looks like this was a user page on, looks like their ISP that they were hosting, and made back in 1998, 1999. The nav bar on the side, the scrolling marquee text, different dividers. This site is dedicated to the greatest of all gamers, Duke fans. Look at the browser buttons at the bottom. All right, let's hop back to Weeby. Obviously it works for different search terms that you want to use, but if you don't know what you want to type in, you can just click this button that says surprise me. If we click the surprise me button, it'll take us to a random website in their index. So let me click this and see where we go. This is cool, like Douglas Adams' dedication page. Yeah, it looks like they are pretty well documenting the entire celebration of Holiday in 2023. They have local events in Australia, Austria, look at all these, Bangladesh, Brazil. This is what I love about Weeby, is these are websites you come across. I would never find a website like this on my own. I wouldn't even know about this, even though I've read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And it looks like it's still pretty well updated. I like Weeby because exploring this site feels exactly like exploring the web in the 90s. And that's without getting disconnected from the dial-up connection. Next, we have DOSGames.com. DOSGames.com is a collection of 2,000 DOS games available for download. The games here are free to play and not pirated. They can be shareware games, demos, free games, or games released as open source. And what I like about DOS games is that all the games can be played in the browser, no download required. So when we click on it, we get some details about the game itself, when it was released, the developer, but my favorite part is clicking play online in browser. So let me click this button. What's gonna happen is DOSBox is gonna pretty quickly load within the span of a few seconds and actually start playing this. And if you feel like you don't wanna actually be stuck here in this little tiny window, click on the Go Full Screen mode to make this much larger. Let's get started with a new game. Of course, we're gonna play LA Meltdown, my favorite episode, and let's rock.
Let's rock. Damn, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride.
Yeah, we are playing Duke 3D. Yep. Exactly like I remember this. Plays really well in the browser. Oh yeah.
Groovy.
Get our RPG. I'm gonna switch back to the pistol for now, save that for later. And I remember we could hop in here. There's a guy right around here. Yeah. Sweet. And of course we found another secret. All right, let me hop back out of here. Remember, there's someone that flies out of this dumpster. Yeah, here we go. Sweet. And let's hop inside. Oh yeah. Terrifying. Huh. I really need some ammo. Hold on, let's see somebody just drop that. And I killed myself. That's what the RPG does. So you can see DOSGames.com, even playing online, these work really, really well. What I like about it is also organized by different genre or category in here, but I like also going just the most popular games. And so honestly, if you come over here, you're probably gonna have a couple of games in mind that you wanna play. Of course they have Doom. Of course they have Duke Nukem, Wolfenstein 3D, and Quake. But scrolling through here, you're probably gonna remember some games that you forgot about, like Commander Keen 4, or Star Wars Dark Forces, Warcraft 2, Tank Wars. So DOS Games is a great option when you want to play a classic game, but you don't want to pull out your old machines or mess with virtual machines just to play something quick. Next on the list is WeatherStar 4000 Plus. This is a recreation of the Weather Channel in the 90s. So at the very top, we can enter a zip code, a city, or state, or we can click to share a location and get the weather details in the forecast for our location right now. But to get started, I'm gonna type in a zip code. Let me type in the zip code for Redmond, Washington. So here we go. And this is it. This looks exactly like the Weather Channel back in the 90s. Even down to the frame rates and these graphics here that we have in place. Oh, it cycles through. Even the font looks perfect. Like the font looks exactly like we saw on the Weather Channel back in the 90s. Oh yeah, here's the travel forecast. You can see this, look at the scrolling with these different animated GIFs here of the sun. What's nice about WeatherStar 4000 is that we're not using a recording of the Weather Channel from the 90s. This is actual real forecast data. So this is based on your exact location you type in and the current date and time to get these actual forecasts populating. Look at the sun. This is amazing. I love the rain, how this was actually animated back in the day. Oh yeah, look at the map. This is exactly what it looked like. By the way, this website doesn't have any background music, so make sure to bring your own smooth jazz when you explore this. GIFcities is a search engine for animated GIFs that were hosted on GeoCities. It was created by the Internet Archive to celebrate their 20th anniversary. At GeoCities' peak, GeoCities contained more than 36 million pages, offering a ton of rich content to scrape and index. Yahoo acquired GeoCities in 1999 and announced its closure in 2009, meaning this trove of 90s web aesthetics went offline. So let's perform a few searches. Let me do a search for space. Look at all these animated backgrounds. GIFcities uses lazy loading, so if you think you've seen them all, scroll down to the bottom, you'll just get more that load. And what I like about GIFcities is that each one will open up the Wayback Machine and go to that exact GeoCities page where this was found. So it looks like this is something for a GeoCities Web TV web ring. This is a cool GIF. I like this one a lot. Let's do another one. I'm gonna search for Netscape. Wow, look at all these browser buttons. So back in the 90s, browsers implemented the technical specifications in different and inconsistent ways. And this led to really different viewing experiences between browsers. People really like one browser over the other. I definitely like Netscape Navigator more because of this meteor animation. And if we click this, we can see what these sites were actually hosting. Looks like this is a Star Trek fan page. And if we scroll down to the bottom, you can see that it's best viewed with Netscape at a different resolution as well as Internet Explorer. Great website. Looks like they were updating this website all the way into the end until when GeoCities closed down, which is a shame because it looks like there was a lot of effort that was put into this. All right, let's do one more. No GeoCities page could be complete without under construction GIFs. GeoCities websites were often only half finished. Each of these GIFs took hours to put together, and there were a ton of these. And these were made just to show that their websites were still a work in progress. And that's probably because there was so much effort that went into updating these websites, even in tools like FrontPage. When Yahoo closed GeoCities in 2009, these websites were frozen in time, never be updated again. And now they're locked on the web as a time capsule for the 90s. Cameron's World is a tribute to GeoCities and the old web. It's not an old website. This is a pretty new website that was created using old GIFs from GeoCities. It was built by Berlin-based artist named Cameron Askin. The creator downloaded hundreds of GIFs and organized them into themes, creating these tightly defined spaces. As we scroll down, you can start to see just how much work went into this. Look at this globe animation. I used to put this all the time on my GeoCities pages. I thought it looked so cool. There are Easter eggs throughout all of this. And so every single time I go to this website, I tend to find something new I want to explore. The first time I went to the website, I was definitely scrolling through here to see what this was like. But it wasn't until the next time I went to it, I realized you could actually click on a lot of these images. Just like GIFcities, if you click on these, it's gonna take you to different web pages that the artist curated. And what I like about it is that it doesn't just open up the Wayback Machine. Instead, we open up this new Catscape Navigator browser that they created that feels very retro. It's like they took the original Netscape Navigator meteor animation and changed it to a cap one. Look how much personality these websites had. This is Duke Nukem 3D. And as you go down, you start seeing different themes that emerge. I'm gonna click on some of these to see what's included. Britney Spears, oh baby baby. Looks like we found a Britney Spears fan page with a web ring. I'm scrolling down. Look at this TV with the static. How great is that meteor animation? Found a step-by-step theme page. Take a look at some Harleys from 2002 to 2005. Nice. 30 reasons why Harleys are better than women. I'm not going through this. Look at those like old GIF of like the skull playing the trumpet. This was everywhere on the web. Let me see where this goes. Oh, this is cool. Someone posted some of their own original audio you can download. And then of course we get to the under construction badges. Look at all of them. I like the Death Star. And then it's going down even further. We had, it looks like a couple web pages that are actually embedded here. Looks like an OS2 page. Can I click this? Yeah, looks like a website dedicated to OS2. Looks like they tried to emulate the interface too, but it's not quite working here. The OS2 web scene. Doesn't seem to load. Let's see what this is. Yep, none of these seem to be loading, but I wish they did. I want to explore this site. Let's keep going. Oh, even the cursor changes in this section. Stephanie's Temple of Cool. Look how great this background is. Really good colors too, with the really light blue and the pinks. This one I remember seeing all the time in the early web. And of course we got the dancing baby. going. You have reached a website that is not harmful. Fave gallery. What are these? Oh, this is cool. It looks like someone created these in Bryce 3D and Poser. But yeah, look at these. These are really cool. Look at the solar flares, the lens flares we're using. What is this bald eagle doing here? Yeah, these are great. I'm glad they included these. I did a full video on Bryce 3D of what the tool is capable of doing and some of the art people created at the time. So be sure to check that one out. Look at this one, jump gate. Yeah, people love their lens flares back in the day. And more pyramids. Check out this cats link. Cat facts, cat humor, cat stories, cat photos, cat heaven. All about the cats. Oh no, George Foreman, RIP. Cinderella's 2 years. Wow, look at all these. Look at these paw prints animating. My cat colony today consists of a total of 11 cats. Nice page dedicated to their cats. Tomcat recipe to remove odor. And feline fine arts. Look at this, this is great. This is from Pets. And then lots of links here to visit, so even more things to visit. This one's called The Future. We've reached my future website and it's currently under construction. Okay, fine. Titanic sucks. Titanic survey, no pun intended. Surfers who liked the movie a lot and surfers who disliked it, not very many. Wow, look at all these people disproving every point of detail in this movie. All right, it keeps going down and we get to the gold section and we get to the fire section and then we finally get to the very end. You can see that this website was called a love letter to the internet of old. So a really impressive website, a lot of care that went into this, and really lets us explore some of the older parts of the web. Finally, let's take a look at Infinite Mac. Infinite Mac has every early Macintosh operating system emulated in our browsers. Scrolling through this list, we have a ton of different options available here, starting all the way with System 1 back in 1984. We have Next Step included, different versions of that. And then it goes all the way through macOS 8, macOS 8.5, all the way up to macOS 9. I was lucky to grow up in a family that loved computers. We had both Windows machines and a few Macs at my house. Our fastest machine was an HP running Windows 98, but that computer was in my parents' bedroom. So if I wanted to play on the computer while my parents were sleeping, I would head down in the basement where the Macintosh was set up. And seeing all these old macOS operating systems is really nostalgic for me. All right, I'm gonna start the first one. I'm gonna go back and just click on System 1. So when we click on one, the emulator loads, and it loads in this period accurate display that changes each time we click on a different operating system. I think Infinite Mac is a great way to explore old Mac operating systems without fighting with emulators, tracking down ROMs, or managing disk drives. So here's System 1. I never used it before I used Infinite Mac. Each OS comes with a hard drive with its own default applications installed. So we have things like Map Paint, the system folder, and some utilities in here. But in addition to that, there's also this thing called Infinite Hard Drive. This shows up as a floppy disk, but this is actually like an emulated drive in here with some more things. I'm gonna go ahead and open up Mac Paint. This is Mac Paint 1.5. So you may be thinking Mac Paint looks like Windows Paint or Paintbrush. The Mac Paints came out a year before Windows Paintbrush. Drawing on this feels really fluid. We don't have colors here because these were black and white screens on the original Mac, but we have these different patterns. So we can like click the paint can and select some of these and fill these in. Instead of creating my own art, what I like to do is look back at what other stuff people created using these really limited tools at the time. So let me open up Woodblock. Yeah, look at this. This is a really old classic image. If we grab the hand tool here, just like in Photoshop, we can go through and drag this up to see what this looks like. But look at the attention to detail that went into this. I didn't even think you could draw like this on a tool like Mac Paint. Okay, now let's take a look at something I check in every version of any operating system I look at. Let's look at the control panel. And this is it. There are no additional pages. This is all we have to work with in the first version of the macOS control panel. We didn't have desktop backgrounds or wallpaper. We just had this pixel grid where we can customize. So if you were to draw in here, you can see that this is being changed right in this preview. And then if you wanted to apply this, you just click on the background and it applies it in place. So we can go through, we can make this very minimal if we wanted to, and then apply it. Hey look, I made dark mode. By clicking on the menu bar up here, we can go through some of these defaults up here if we don't want to actually draw our own in every case. And then clicking in the center applies it. I like how simple and compact this control panel is, even if it's missing a lot of the features that we have in more modern versions of macOS. All right, let's do another one. I'm gonna jump down to the latest version they have here, which is macOS 9. We now move to more of a cinema display. This looks like a cinema display. The only difference is this green light should not be here, but it shows us that the emulator is loading. All right, first things first, let's get rid of all of these stickies. Stickies is just an app that was included. I'm just gonna quit out of this. And let's put the trash can back to where it belongs. All right, let me go ahead and go into the control panel again. So I'm gonna go to appearance and take a look at the desktop backgrounds. This includes all of the default Mac OS 9 backgrounds. So we definitely have some of the more basic colors to start with, but then we have textures and patterns that were included in each of these. And these versions, these different colors were really made to align with the different iMac colors that were available at the time. So you can get the desktop background to match the exact color of your iMac. This is probably my favorite. This is like a classic Mac OS background. And on my Mac growing up, I always had this background. These are pretty cool. Infinite Mac comes with all of the default applications installed that we can use and play with. So we could go ahead and open these up. I'm not gonna go into these right now. But what I like about these versions and like more later operating systems on Infinite Mac is that they are included and connected to the internet. So you can pass files to this through the uploads and also download anything that you create here to your own computer. It's also possible for users on different Infinite Mac instances to play LAN-based games against each other. The Infinite hard drive over here has a ton of different games available. Let's take a look at some of these. So they have A10 Attack, Ambrosia software, which was a lot of shareware that came out for the Mac at the time, which are all included in here, like Bubble Trouble, Escape Velocity. There's Battle Chess included here, Boom, which was a ton of fun. We also have Bungie, all of the Bungie games in here for the Mac at the time. So we have Marathon, Marathon 2, Marathon Infinity. All right, I'm definitely gonna open Marathon to see what if this plays. And it works.
Let's go!
And here we go.
Perimeter secured.
But it still loads perfectly. I used to love Marathon as a kid, and you can play all of them. They have a ton of other games installed too, like Civilization is set up here. They have Lemmings. They have what looks like the original SimCity. Here's SimCity 2000, Snood, Tetris, The Oregon Trail, The Secret of Monkey Island, and the Warcraft games, plus Ultimate Doom. A ton of games included here. They also have graphics applications and publishing apps. If this is not enough for you, they actually have a lot more that's kind of hidden down here. You'll get this view of all of these other options that are available. So you can scroll through, you can see there's a lot of games they have included here that have not been installed. But just to show how it works, I'm gonna click on Dark Forces here, and the Dark Forces CD mounts on the desktop. If you feel like this list is too limited, you can even click Load from URL. Archive.org is accepted, as well as Macintosh Garden and Macintosh Repository. I spent a lot of time setting up and messing around with a lot of virtual machines. But if I had Infinite Mac back when I set up my first virtual machines, I probably would have skipped the virtual machine setup process altogether for the Macintosh and just use this website. All right, so that's my list for today. I hope I was able to give you a few to dive into and explore on your own. I have a ton more websites like these, so let me know in the comments if you want a part 2 of this video. But I'll leave it here for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you in the next one.